Hi folks, back again, Bathrobe Chronicles number 128, and as you can see in the background here, yes, we're back in the mountains, and I do have a production assistant here. Anyway, today is Sunday the 11th of July 2010. What I want to talk a few minutes about is treatment centers, which I've mentioned before, and who should be in the treatment centers giving the so-called treatments. It seems like a lot of people who are, for lack of a better word, former alcoholics, or actually some of them practicing alcoholics, for some reason it seems like they're drawn to these places. I think some of it is they want to evangelize, to use that word. In other words, they've had the problem with the booze, so they feel as though it's their obligation or their duty to help others who have problems with the booze. Excuse me. I think there's also some of that in the field of counseling too. Folks who've been depressed or folks who've had bad things happen to them and so forth and so on feel as some obligation or desire or need, or whatever term you want to use, to get in the field, so to speak, to help others who had similar problems. I guess the question might be, speaking specifically of treatment centers, alcohol and drugs and so forth and so on, is it really an advantage to have been an addict, or whatever you want to call these folks, or a boozer, or an alcoholic, or whatever? Is there some advantage to that? Instead of someone just who goes through school, gets the training, and then goes to the treatment centers to try to offer help to folks who are having problems. This is an interesting, from our local paper. This is a person who was working, and of all places, supposedly working as a sex therapist. And let me just make sure I know where this was. Let me see here. This person was employed at a local, one of ours, a local nonprofit organization where he ran group therapy for sex addicts. Well, anyway, he was just arrested, and actually he was just sentenced to 22 years in federal prison for being a repeat child pornography offender and illegally possessing a firearm. I think there's several things here we can get from this. Number one, it seems like there's some due diligence, if you will, on the part of any employer when they hire someone, to make sure that someone, if they do have a criminal record, at least they're aware of it. I think even the simplest jobs for most municipalities and the federal government, I'm sure, the simplest jobs just require a DMV check, Division of Motor Vehicles check, and a criminal check. I mean, this is sort of routine. But here, this person is had a conviction already. Let me see. The person was in the military and had child pornography. He was sentenced to 40 months with all but 18 months suspended. So here's a person who has this criminal record, and of all things, it's child pornography. And what do? They hire him to be a so-called sex therapist. Kind of bizarre. Oh heck. Let's go to part 2. Yeah, just turn that.